Hello and welcome to a rainy day in the motorhome. And I got a question which was, how do I manage to fund the van life, living in a van and travelling around all the time, being on holiday all the time? Right, the answer is simple. It is internet. Now, if you asked people years ago how they'd fund doing something like this, they'd probably be working on campsites or something like that. Maybe work on the campsites for a few months and then travel around when the campsite was closed. In fact, I know people are still doing that. Another way was doing agricultural work. I knew somebody in Italy, he'd move around from one place to another doing agricultural work whilst living in his motorhome. And there's various things like this, temporary work here and there. But now we have the internet, and it means that anybody whose work is office based can effectively, more or less, work in a van and travel around. Of course, if you work in a factory, you can't, because you need the machinery. Or if you're a customer base which is doing things which are physical, which are need to be near the client, such a mechanic or something like that, then again, obviously you can't do it. But anything which means that you are not in physical contact with the client, then you can. And one, I hate to say the advantage of COVID, it's a bit like saying the advantages of warfare. If you look at the positive things that came out of the Second World War, were things like malaria cures, for example. And so one of the things which has come out as a result of COVID is improved software, which now means to say that doesn't affect me, because I was never doing things which were particularly delicate, shall we say. But for people who are working with things, even in finance, I mean, I even know somebody who could potentially do it, and she is working in company accounts. So now, because of the software, which is supposedly secure, or securer, or maybe just as secure as the software that she has at the bank, and so she could, if she wanted to, travel around. So in my case, for what I do, I've been able to do this now for some time. And now another advantage which has come in recent years is the price of internet has come down quite considerably. When I started doing this, it was quite expensive. I mean, certainly as I was traveling around, say 16, 17 years ago, I would get dreadful bills for my internet access. No longer the case. In fact, there was even a time I was travelling, I think it was 2003, where the cost of what I was doing was almost the same as the receipt, the money I got for it. So the internet access was so expensive, what I had to do was a fixed client. So these days, just to give one or two examples, I mean, I even noticed when I was in the United States, it was unlimited access to the internet was $50, and that was about 8 years ago. So I'm no longer there. 9 years ago, 2012 that was. And for example, in the United Kingdom, I pay, I think it's £25 a month when I'm there, and when I'm in Poland, I pay 35 zloty, which is what, €7.50, something like that. Admittedly, in Germany, it is still a bit on the expensive side, and in Italy, I'm about to change, so I can't. From Italy, I shall let you know how much I'm paying as I get there. So, what do I do? Well, previously I'd worked in publishing, and I ran a B2B specialised industrial website and magazine, which I went entirely over electronic use in 2013. Stopped producing in paper, so it was, I could just travel around as I saw fit. And before that, I'd also worked in, again, real estate finance. Admittedly, in a case like that, I would have to examine paperwork and things like that, so I couldn't be travelling around in a van. But I always had the opinion that I could fly back, and if I had to, I mean, that's what planes are there for, and planes really, again, they don't cost much these days compared to what they cost once before. Even get the train, if I didn't want to drive, say, a couple of thousand kilometres. Again, I mean, it's okay. I mean, trains, maybe they're not cheap, but I mean, you're not using them that often on a sleeper to go somewhere. So I hope that has sort of given an idea. Admittedly, for what I was doing before, I don't tend to do it that often these days. But I mean, when I have a client or something, I can just work via the internet. So that gives some ideas. If you have a job like that, I give some other ideas of people I've known who are doing things like one's graphic artist, for example. I've known people, I said, in the financial sector who are doing things. Oh, I know people working in customer care. That is to say that they are on the instead of working in a call centre somewhere, they're working out of a van. One or two ideas. I know that doesn't include most people, but as you're in lockdown and think of things you're doing, industrial designer, I suppose clothes designers, more and more coming to my mind now, then you can think, well, I could be out in the van right now. I could be locked down next to the beach somewhere. Well, as you can see, I'm not next to a beach. I'm in a industrial area and it's raining outside. But that is the day. The plan was to be in Sicily. Good. I hope I've answered that question, and no doubt I shall come back to it again in future videos. Note the word plural because I might have more ideas. Thanks for watching.